So I'm incredibly excited to talk about Maniac from 1980, and this is the first time I've watched this movie. I've always heard about Maniac, but I never got the chance to see it until today, and holy fuck, this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And this is just my first watch, so maybe my reaction will change, but good God, this actor, Joe Spicoli, I think is his name, who plays Frank, the maniac, the guy in this movie. This is an Oscar. This should have been like an Oscar nominated performance, and I doubt it was because this was a 1980s horror film that was more exploitation ish. How it looked, it felt like an exploitation film, and it so it wouldn't have got any recognition, but oh my god, this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I just sat there, and I barely get scared at any type of horror movie, and that's why I think they're fun. But this one was uncomfortable to watch. Like, oh my god, and I'm really interested to see what the Elijah Wood Maniac one is like. That's the remake of this, because I don't know. I hear Elijah Wood scary in that one, but like I don't know if this guy can give him a run for his money. Like, because this guy in this movie was just terrifying. And I'm going to start from the beginning of the movie. And I liked how immediately the score got me too. The score is incredibly scary as well and disturbing. And he has like this dream. Frank has this dream of killing this couple on the beach, kind of like how Jaws started. But he wakes up from it. And then it shows him in his room with all of these mannequins. And as the movie goes along, you realize what he's doing with these mannequins, where he kills all these women because he was abused by his mother, who died, and he kills these girls and scalps their heads to put their hair as wigs on these mannequins. And like I said, that alone, just him in this room with all these mannequins creeps me out because they're covered in blood. Like, there is literally one of the most like creepiest, the way it's shot, because the movie is supposed to look exploitation-ish, where it's not lit great, but that makes it incredibly like scary looking. Like, cause this room he's in is not lit good, but that made it look like, and I know it's probably the intent, but like that just made it just work incredibly well, seeing this guy in here talking to these mannequins with the top of women's heads, their hair on mannequins. That just, God, this movie scared me. Like, I'm so surprised to say this, but this movie scared me. One of the scariest movies I've seen, because of that performance and because of this creepy, it's so creepy how it looks, creepy with moments like him with the mannequins. And you see throughout the movie, he goes and just gets these girls, and he has a charm to him where he manipulates them and then kills them, and then he does all these horrific things, and then it's mostly just that. It's kind of repetitive, but it still holds its scariness throughout. Like, it's him just going and chasing after girls the whole movie, but it works. There's a fantastic scene in underground at the subway station, or at the train station, whatever, and he is following this woman down where the subway is, and this works incredibly well in where their location they're at, where he's chasing her, like so many places she could hide, but then he slowly gets to her, and there's a moment where she's hiding in one of these open like shower stalls, and he walks to every shower stall that's in it except for hers, and then walks away. She thinks she got out scot-free, but then this character is dumb because she like talks and starts making noise, and then of course he comes and gets her, and I'm like, you could have made it out scot-free. Like, but I know it's supposed to be there to make it disturbing, and there are moments to just freak me out like that. And then there's a moment where because Tom Savini's the makeup guy for this, or the effects guy, Tom Savini's character, who pops up, gets shot in the head through like a car, and it blows up, like his head blows up. But that was great, and the effects work in this is again, it's Tom Savini. It's of course amazing, and he just it got me just how effective these kills were and how effective everything. Like him especially, whenever he shot his own dummy character, like through the he used the gun and actually shot this dummy through a car where its head blew up. And apparently it said online that like he had to throw the gun into like a truck to drive away so the cops wouldn't like come get them because they would have thought that that was a real murder. Like that's really devotion. And then Frank with the last girl stands up to him and she actually makes it out, I think, because he takes her to the graveyard where like his mother's buried, and then he kind of freaks out and loses it because he's kind of got a split personality thing where like he's imagining his mother's there with him even though she's been dead. And then he goes back to his place with all the mannequins, his home, and the whole movie has been establishing that in the newspapers that they know it's a guy killing all these girls, and like they finally track down where he's at. They go into the place he's at in his room with all the mannequins. The cops look around just disturbed at all this stuff, all the bloody mannequins, and then you see that Frank had stabbed himself. Kind of like his mother was talking to him, I think, in the split personality thing. So like he stabbed himself and died, but then the cops like leave, they close the door, and then a stinger noise that I won't forget in terms of the score is incredible because I jumped because it goes to his face, he opens his eyes, that stinger noise just scared the shit out of me, and then it ends, and oh my god. Like, this literally just affected me so much. This was hard to watch. Like, in that actor, I believe I guess he was in the Rocky movies, in Rocky 1 and 2, and maybe 3. Wait, I don't know if it was 3, because I think he died, like, in late 80s, I think it said the guy died, Joe Spicoli. But this actor was incredible. Like, this... I love horror that doesn't take itself very seriously, but this one, in terms of how brutal and how scary this feels, this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and I was truly blown away by this. Just, oh my god. Like, I was sitting there kind of shivering at the end. I was like, ugh. Like, I felt dirty watching this. It's kind of like how when you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, it feels dirty. It felt like this, but this felt more, like, disturbing in a way. Like, this just blew me away. I don't know if I want to watch this again, though, because it really did affect me. So, God, it's scary, legitimately scary. So, I've rambled on enough, and I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm gonna see the Elijah Wood one because I feel like it's not gonna be as scary because of how it's probably shot and stuff. But I don't know, I could be wrong. But I'm still gonna see the other one regardless. So, but this one alone, this one was fucking terrifying.